Hey there, Eric with you. Hope you're doing well. Have you ever been out, maybe at the mall, and you buy something? Maybe it's a piece of clothing or some new shoes or even some furniture. And then the next day you ask yourself, why did I buy that? I didn't really need that. You kind of kick yourself. I got to use this for something else much more valuable. Well, that's what I wanted to speak to you about today. As adults, we do that. But what about if there was a system or a way of thinking that we could maybe prevent that from happening? And what about if we could teach that to our children? Invaluable skill, I think you would agree. So I've developed this little game that I play a lot with my kids, and we call it asset or liability, and I have it divided here. And we just go through different scenarios and we try to decide, is it an asset and a liability? And just for a definition, an asset is anything that's going to put money in your pocket, and a liability is anything that's going to take money out of your pocket. So very simple, black and white. In your pocket, out of your pocket. So, and you can go back and forth with your children, and it just starts them thinking in a different type of mind, gives them a different type of perspective. And for us too, as their parents, it certainly has helped me. So, for example, so you could put maybe, oh, marker doesn't work. Liability. Let's try this one. Okay, so maybe we could, two for two. See that? I'm loading up on liabilities today. Let's see if I get a good one here. All right, there we go. Maybe an asset. So we could put a car. You know, we see so many beautiful cars on the road today. Some very expensive cars. But you can ask your child, is a car an asset or a liability? Now this can get very interesting because at face value, you would say, you know, every month I have to take a car payment. So I'm taking money out of my pocket. So that would be a liability. I'm losing money every month because of this car. However, if you use this car maybe as a business to deliver products you're making, and you're making money by using your car to deliver products, or maybe you have a shuttle type of service where you drive people to the airport, and so your car is a means for generating income, for generating money, then that car would be an asset. So I think you can kind of see where I'm going with this. This is a good one too. We debate a lot on this one. How about a home, your house? What do you think? Well, you know, those mortgage rates can be a killer, especially if you have a 30-year mortgage. Sometimes you're paying double, triple the amount of the original price for the home. So if you're on a 30-year mortgage, I would say we're going to lean to the liability. I mean, every month it's taking money out of our pocket, more and more money. And again, you're going through this with your children. You're explaining to this, and you can see how this has many different offshoots. You can start to explain what a mortgage is, what a car payment is, what the APR is, the percentage of interest you're paying on your home or your car every month. So you can see how this can be, again, really invaluable information. But say we're back to the home example here, and you use your home as an investment. You buy a home and maybe you rent out a room in your home and someone is paying you money every month, or you rent out the entire home. It becomes a rental property and you're making more money than you have to spend each month on that home. Then of course it would be an asset because you're putting money in your pocket. So I think those are great examples, but again, this can get really interesting, especially with children, because once you start doing this, they're going to ask you, they're going to flood you, inundate you with questions. And that's great. That type of knowledge, I think, at that age can, speaking of asset, be such an asset for them as they get older. So maybe one day when they're out at the mall and they see, you know, maybe a $200 pair of shoes, they may think twice. You know, those shoes are cool and yeah, they look great, but you know what? I can use that money somewhere else that may put money in my pocket. So great little game, asset liability. You can draw it out like this, or we play a lot in the car. We'll just go back and forth, asset or liability. And like I showed in this example, if it is a liability, then you can probe a little further and say, then how can you make that liability into an asset? I mean, bingo, right? If they can start making liabilities into assets as a little kid, just think the type of ideas they're going to come up with as they get older. They start to make an income. They're put in situations where that maybe they should purchase a house, maybe they should not. Car, it can go on with assets and liabilities. But again, I think it's just great for children to start learning this at a young age. Unfortunately, this is not taught in school. So unless they go into college, and maybe they major in economics or business, finances. But in general, this is never taught to children. So it is our responsibility to really work on our children's financial IQ. And again, it can just be so helpful for them as they grow up later in life. And again, for parents also, I'm still struggling with assets and liabilities. So I hope that helps you. Try it. It's great. You'll do it over and over again. And if you could please share this with other parents. Again, I think this can really help so many children out there. And if you like the video, of course, that will help get the word out. And I'm going to be making many more videos such as this pertaining to the health and wellness of children. If you would like to subscribe, by subscribing, that would be an asset. You're going to learn a lot. I'd love to have you. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.